This is Commander of the Aiken Saber Academy. We've already filmed for our sits our combat rules. So if you look, we have a series of videos on our rule set here for sits. But what we need to do at Sit stands for Saber Integrated Training System. So that means there's more to it than just the rule sets for fencing. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a series of films on training and how we train for sits. The first one is going to be our technique. So our technique are your strikes and your blocks. We have copy. We've printed these out on spreadsheets. And the reason we print it on spreadsheets is that you have access to this training if you want. Do you need our training to do sits? No, absolutely not. A block is a block regardless if you do it our way or if you call it something else and you do it for TSL or Lightspeed or SCA or any of those other things where there's blocking with swords. We have within Aiken Saber Academy, just like in any other martial art, we have a series of ranks, with each rank getting progressively harder. And in those ranks you have tests. So the higher the rank, the more technique that you have, the harder the tests that there are. So without ado, we're going to go right to the kinds of blocks and stuff, and this is going to be strictly a technique video. Now, when we developed our technique, the idea was to keep this as simple as possible. So we don't use German or Italian names. We don't use names from Star Wars or anything like that. We strictly use a block as a block. We don't call it a deflector. We don't call it a shield. We don't call it anything else. A block is a block, a strike, or a slash. That's our technique. So we're going to go and do we're going to go with the basic rank, which is initiate to apprentice. All right? So our ranking system is initiate, apprentice, knight, cavalier, paladin, and then master. And again, by the time you get to master, you should know all the techniques. You should know all the various forms that we use. And the forms are nothing more than a kata developed for our own system. We stay away from anything having to do with Star Wars because we don't want to have any issues with copyrights and things. All right, so we have our two current knights right now. We have Tully on my left, and we have Josh on my right. And as I call a form, don't step. We're just going to demonstrate it right now. All right, we're going to demonstrate the various techniques. So the first is offense. All right, so demonstrate a downward slash. Downward slash. Good. Demonstrate a low guard. Good. Demonstrate a left horizontal slash. Good. Demonstrate a middle guard. Demonstrate a left diagonal slash. Good. Demonstrate a right diagonal slash. Demonstrate a right inverse slash. Right, there you go, good. Demonstrate another downward slash. Demonstrate a left inverse slash. All right, so that's our offense for the form. And demonstrating the next part, what we're doing are techniques for defense. And then we're going to step through it. All right, demonstrate a high guard. Good. Demonstrate a left overhead block. Demonstrate a right overhead block. And on the blocks, we should say right or left, but that's really where the point of the saber is pointing. Right. Demonstrate a low guard. We use three guards, and guards are stances that you have preparatory to an attack or a defense. We have low, middle, and high. Demonstrate a right side block. Demonstrate a left side block. Good. If you see on the block, we generally tend to bring this arm a little further out so that that elbow is protected. That's your standard side block. Of course, when you're actually fencing, you're going to be picture perfect with these. Probably not, but at least you'll have the technique into your memory, so you'll be able to do the block. All right. Demonstrate a left diagonal block. Alright, so a left diagonal block is a left diagonal slash, except that you're blocking in preparation to a strike. Demonstrate a right diagonal block. Good. Demonstrate a middle guard. Demonstrate a left inverted block. Good job. So on the left inverted blocks, the idea is to protect the entire side, starting from your head. All right, demonstrate a right inverted block. Demonstrate a rear inverted block. Good. And then let's go back to the ready position. Okay. So when we do these demonstrations in sits, you have to properly arm for a strike. So now we're going to walk them through in a second and demonstrate what we call Form 1. So end this video.